The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the game's technical test, is just around the corner. We are a little over a month away, and a lot of us are going to be getting a physical, hands-on preview with what Gun Interactive has to offer with this iconic IP. Unfortunately though, I won't be able to be one of those people unless I magically give myself another fancy PC, but that's neither here nor there. I'm going to discuss this game regardless. Nothing's going to stop me, damn it. Today, we are going to be breaking down the character profiles of the family with their abilities and attributes as well. Before we get started, I just can't brag enough on how much I love the marketing design and sneak peeks Gun has provided to keep us hungry for more. Having the character profiles designed to look like old trading cards is excellent, and God, I wish these things were real. I may just have to go out myself and try to get these printed out just to have them for my personal collection. Moving on though, let's begin. Let's start with the cook. The card reads, the old man, the cook. He might say he don't take much pleasure in killing, but he does just fine when needed. He's the owner of the gas station and the order of the household, what little order there is, and knows every inch of these places. One board breaks and he can pin down its location. Equipped with his weapon of choice, a broken broom handle, and his seek ability that lets him tune in to every sound and track down those victims. Savagery and harvesting marks are understandably higher than his endurance, which is by far the lowest among the family. That means Grandpa must be fast as hell in that wheelchair. I'm just kidding. It's comparing the cook to the other playable killers. Grandpa isn't available yet. Let's break down the basic attributes so we can get a better picture of what the old bastard has in store for us. His savagery sits at plus 35. Savagery directs affects the amount of damage you deal with melee hits, but should not be seen as simple strength. Think of savagery as a proficiency level for killing in-game, used in conjunction with the endurance as a way to determine the full potential for damage dealt. This is based on assumption, but what I'm assuming savagery does is just basically rank how good your melee hits are going to be. Depending on how good the hit is, savagery will determine just how much damage will occur to the victim. And the higher the savagery is, the more easier of a score you will have depending on the hits. So say you're, no matter what family member, if you're going to hit him in the head, yes, that's going to be a strong hit regardless, but if your savagery is higher, you're going to be able to deal stronger damage to that victim. His harvesting sits at plus 30. Harvesting affects the amount of blood you gain for Grandpa when interacting with victims. It does not, however, affect the amount of blood gained from buckets around the map. It's based from melee hits, grapples with the victims, and executions that fill the blood vial. So, we will be able to find blood hidden around the map to help fill our vial, but the harvesting attributes determine just how much blood you can get from attacking the victims. I find that really helpful for the cook considering the next attribute, his endurance, which sits at plus 5. He is slow as hell, so these boosts and the other two will help balance him out as a killer. Means his attacks and stamina may be small, but his smarts will help keep the rest of the team grounded. You'll need plenty of blood to feed Grandpa so you can find those little shits. Next up, we're going to be taking a closer look at Johnny. Raised by Black Nancy and the closest thing to a true serial killer the family has, Johnny is a predator in every sense. He uses his strength to stalk and overpower anyone he sees as weaker than him, which in his mind is everyone. His hunt ability allows him to see fresh tracks and follow the trail of his victims. Harvesting is fine, but he will never let that get in the way of pure savagery, which is exactly what he relishes in. In a family full of unpredictable maniacs, Johnny is the most unpredictable of all, often clashing with the clan when his base instincts are impossible to ignore. Johnny sounds crazy as hell, and I can see plenty of people using him for the sheer fact of his endurance up to plus 30. And savagery up to a whopping plus 40. Once he's on the victim's trail, they will have a lot of trouble getting away from him, and even if they do get away, he will track them back down and get the killing blow. The design of Johnny is reminiscent of the serial killers of our time. He has an attractive lure to him that can bring in the prey. You almost want to trust him until you find it's too late and he has you right where he wants you. Next up, we're going to be discussing the hitchhiker. He's the wiry, greasy, and downright feral type. He's also sort of an artist of the macabre, known to craft items of bone and teeth. His trap ability is a dark extension of that farmland ingenuity where nothing is left away is visually represented as snares made of ribs and string. He makes excellent use of his slim frame to fit into gaps and crawl spaces, making it difficult to get him to slip. Naturally, he has the highest endurance ranking of the entire family and is a relentless pursuer. Finding the places he cannot follow will be crucial when he is on your heels. His trap ability will be crucial to slowing the victims down. Without traps, they will be running around freely with nothing getting in their way. The hitchhiker won't have that. His attributes are self-explanatory. His savagery is plus 15. He may not be the strongest and most critical attacker, but his other attributes make up for that. His harvesting is up to plus 30, while his endurance is a whopping plus 40. This little weasel is quick and he will not tire easy. Following up the hitchhiker, we have Sissy, who is personally the killer I'm most excited to play. Just hearing her sweet soothing singing as she kills her victim brings twisted joy to my soul. A drifter and a product of the hazy drug-fueled era, Sissy is extremely enigmatic even for this group. Having spun out of numerous cults, including Spawn Ranch, Sissy utilized her wiles to make her way back to Texas, leaving a blood trail in her wake. Demented and unstable, Sissy's turbulent past has only further fed her tendencies. Somewhere in her travels, she's picked up strange organic skills, and her poisonous Bane ability is the deadly result of that. Do not let her lower savagery rating fool you. She is every bit as dangerous as the rest of the family, albeit in different ways. Her savagery only sits at a plus 10, which is lower than the others, but her harvesting sits at a plus 40, while her endurance sits at plus 30. She may not be able to get the best attacks in, it may take longer to finish the job with Sissy, but she will have plenty of fun collecting blood vials and chasing them down for the finishing blow. Finishing off with the big boy himself, we have Leatherface, the butcher of the family. Leatherface is the most brutal of the group. While he fills a variety of roles around the house, there's one he's particularly proficient at. We think it's clear what that is. His main ability is simple. He wields the weapon of dismemberment, the chainsaw. What he lacks in maneuverability, he makes up for with brute strength, able to saw and bash through bolted doors and blockades in his pursuit of the victims. Stacked with high endurance as well as the highest mark for savagery, Leatherface is a powerful force the victims would do well to avoid. It's very obvious old Bub here is a monster to be reckoned with. His savagery is a whopping plus 45, with his endurance at 35. His harvesting sits at only 10, which makes sense. He's not going to worry about collecting blood vials to feed Grandpa very much. He's going to focus on getting the damn job done and getting it done as quick and forcefully as possible. He's going to be a blast to use, and I can already see the player base using him a lot. But taking a look at each of the family's abilities and attributes gives me a very positive feeling about this game. They put a lot of hard work and love into these killers, which I find not surprising at all. They are horror fans after all that want to deliver the strongest horror game ever, and just from reading these off, each killer not only reads like they will be well balanced and useful, but I'm sure I'm not the only one that feels this way. I feel encouraged to play the other killers just as much as Leatherface. That was something that worried me. I'm sure plenty of people will solely use Lethy, but they crafted the other killers to be just as fun and useful, and I can't wait to experiment to see who I like the most. But that's all we have today. What do you all think about the family? Are you all excited to play as the killers? Let me know down in the comments below who you're most excited to use. If you haven't already, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It not only helps me out a ton, but also helps keep you up to date with my videos. And just a little secret here, if you want to be really cool, I'm talking cooler than Leatherface rampaging through this game. Ringing the bell so you're notified of each of my videos will do just that. But until next time, take it easy, bubs.